Past continuous. The past continuous is formed from the past tense of be, was, were, with ing form of the verb. We use the past continuous to talk about the past, for something which continued before and after another action. The children were doing their homework when I got home. Compare. I got home. The children did their homework. And the children did their homework when I got home. This use of the past continuous is very common at the beginning of a story. The other day I was waiting for a bus when. Last week, as I was driving to work, we use the past continuous for something that happened before and after a particular time. It was 8 o'clock. I was writing a letter. Compare. At 8 o'clock, I wrote some letter. To show that something continued for some time. My head was aching. Everyone was shouting for something that was happening again and again. I was practicing every day, 3 times a day. They were meeting secretly after school. They were always quarreling, with verb which show change or growth. The children were growing up quickly. Her English was improving. My hair was going grey. The town was changing quickly. When we want to talk about an action that was happening over a period of time in the past, we use the past continuous tense. Look at these examples. At this time last week, I was lying on the beach in Florida. My mother was working in the garden, so she didn't hear the telephone when I called her yesterday. I had my car fixed because it wasn't working properly. Sorry, I wasn't listening. Can you say it again, please? What were you doing at 8 o'clock yesterday? Why were you talking to John when I saw you in the cafeteria yesterday? I went to lunch too early. The food was still being cooked. Here is a passive example. The past continuous is very often used with the past simple to say that something happened in the middle of something else. In each of the following examples, the single event, past simple, happens in the middle of the longer action, past continuous. You phoned while I was having a bath. When I got home yesterday, a cat was sitting on the roof. It started to rain just as we were getting ready to have our picnic. The boy was standing on the table when the principal came into the room. Many people were shopping in the market when the bomb exploded. I saw Nariko in town yesterday. She was wearing a pink dress and an orange hat. When I went to bed last night, the sun was already beginning to rise. It was lucky we weren't sitting under that tree when the lightning hit. What were you doing when the lights went off last night? Were you watching me when I showed you how to do it? How fast was she driving when she had the accident? When we use the past continuous tense, our listener usually knows or understands what time we are talking about. Look at these examples. I was working at 10 p.m. last night. They were playing football at 9 a.m. this morning. What were you doing at 10 p.m. last night? What were you doing when he arrived? She was cooking when I telephoned her. We were having dinner when it started to rain. Emil went home early because it was snowing. Non-continuous verbs. Note that some verbs cannot be used in continuous progressive tenses. Non-continuous verbs are verbs that we do not normally use with continuous tenses. These stative verbs are about state not action, and they cannot express the continuous or progressive aspect. Here are some of the most common non-continuous verbs. Feeling: hate, like, love, prefer, want, wish. Senses: appear, feel, hear, see, seem, smell, sound, taste. Communication: agree, deny, disagree, mean, promise, satisfy, surprise. Thinking: believe, imagine, know, mean, realize, recognize, remember, understand. Other states: be, belong, concern, depend, involve, matter, need, owe, own, possess. Look at these example sentences, right and wrong. I want a coffee, not I was wanting a coffee. I didn't believe you were right, not I was believing you are right. Did this pen belong to you, not was this pen belonging to you. It seemed wrong, not it was seeming wrong. I didn't hear anything, not I did not hearing anything. Notice that we often use can plus see and hear. I can see someone in the distance, not I am seeing someone in the distance. I can't hear you well, not I am hearing you well. With verbs that we cannot use in continuous tenses, there is no real action or activity. Compare hear and listen. The verb hear means receive sound in your ears. There is no action or activity by you. We cannot use hear with continuous tenses, but listen means try to hear. You make an effort to hear. There is a kind of action or activity. We can use listen with continuous tenses. The past continuous is always used when one action in progress is interrupted by another action in the past. The past simple is used in such sentences. We usually use when or while to link these two sentences. For example, I was talking with James when the telephone rang. While Angelica was playing tennis, the plane crashed. When Bob was painting windows, it started raining. Now let's get down to practice. I was studying while he was making dinner. While Helen was reading, Tim was watching television. We're listening while he was talking. I wasn't paying attention while I was writing the letter, so I made several mistakes. What were you doing while you were waiting? Thomas wasn't working, and I wasn't working either. They were eating dinner, discussing their plans, and having a good time. She was always coming to class late. He was constantly talking. He annoyed everyone. I didn't like them because they were always complaining. You were just studying when she called. Were you just studying when she called? Now let's have some trial test. Anar fell asleep while he watched TV. Now you have to choose right answer.